We have a dangerous predator in the sand here, a bobbit worm, and the little fish just barely escaped. Let's look at this again in slow motion. The little fish ventures too close to this dangerous worm, and the worm is closing its jaws, but the fish just a split second before that went away. Now we have a sea slug, a headshield slug, which decided it didn't like my video lights, and it is digging itself in under the sand. I sped this up by a factor of 4. Now we have another citizen of the muck diving habitat, and this is a bumblebee squid, which decides it is equally more safe under the sand. Here the bobbit worm is opening its jaws again. This is a annelid worm, relative of the earthworms in your compost, but it has these jaws and it's waiting for prey from below, and bizarrely here it has grabbed a blade of seagrass. Is this bobbit worm a vegetarian? No, I think it's not. I think it is just mistaken what is going on here. So this is such a spectacular animal, and we are very lucky to have this in Negros now. When did I film all of this? At night, and obviously I can't show you a drone shot at night, so this is this amazing dive site just a couple of hours after I got this underwater footage. More interesting night diving footage. What is this mass here? It is a poop. It is a mass of feces, and this shrimp here decides that would be a good home. Now let's do some scientific sciencing. So let's test the texture of this piece of poop. Well, medium texture. Who made that? Was it my friend Matt? No, he was not, but he was the one to find it. Instead, it was a green sea turtle which feeds on seagrass and which then produced this turd. Now, the highlight of the night diving of the last couple of weeks, though, was this octopus. So, a lot of marine life really is fascinating to look at, but it's one way. We are looking at the fish, we are looking at the sea stars. Well, most fish we are looking at, and they're not looking back much. But with these cephalopods, with this octopi, it is a two-way road here. This animal observes us humans in scuba gear as much as we observe them. So this octopus was rather small, probably less than the size of my hand in diameter, with its arms outstretched, and I found it in the sand here. And obviously I'm diving with a video light at night, and there is always a two-way effect of these video lights on these animals. Well, they're nocturnal, meaning they do want to have moonlight at most when they're active. So they're at first, at least, not particularly happy that there is like some weird technological primate swimming along, and that primate has a bright source of light. Now, especially with the cephalopods, though, sometimes the situation changes, that they realize rather quickly that the video light is a hunting tool for them, an hunting aid, and I believe this is what happened here. So this octopus decided, well, it has not eaten me yet after a minute of sitting next to me, so let's use the photons from this person's video light to hunt. And it's crawling over the sand, the arms are outstretched, and the webbing between the arms is expanded. So, see, there's a crab. This crab just barely got away, but in general, it's very useful for these animals with very good eyesight and with very large brains to parse what these eyes are seeing to have a video light and someone holding it at their powers. So then this octopus, I'm pretty sure this is a hunting style, what it's doing here. So again, it's scouting, it's scanning the sand with its outstretched arms. And this fine webbing between the arms that's expanded as to trap probably mostly small shrimp or crabs. This is what it's going for. So an amazing animal, as you have seen during this whole footage here, which I managed to film, that this octopus can change its colors. And so how does that work? Yeah, see, look, it just got something, I think. It caught something. So to come back to the skin, how does this skin color change happen? Well, this is almost like an inverted retina. So instead of having many different photoreceptors which pick up light, there is a two-dimensional array in its skin of chromatophore cells, and these chromatophore cells come in two layers, so they're on the top layer of the skin and below, and when it contracts, tiny little muscles, again there's an array of these muscles, when it contracts them you can see what's on top, and when it relaxes these muscles you can see what's in the lower layer. So these chromatophores, this color change, there's a very nice color change happening just here, and this is very quick. This can be for camouflage, this can be for communication between octopi of the same species, and there seems to be this hypnotic movement of the skin sometimes, which is almost there to hypnotize prey. So what a cool animal, what a pleasure of being able to film this and observing this. This is really more that I'm having an actor work with me than, some passive, a piece of nature in front of me. So did you see that? There was just like a little fish just barely getting away, and it just made another effort. I'm pretty sure it got its fill during this hunt with my help. So to say goodbye, we're going to look at this crab. Check back next week, more underwater footage from the Philippines, and have an awesome week.